This thing can kill you. Let's talk about that. Hello everyone and welcome to our mini homestead. This is Sammy. As you know, I do work on the garden and take care of animals on our homestead using a wheelchair, and I have several videos about using wheelchairs and reviews and a few videos about that. Today I want to talk about the danger of a joystick. And we all know that all power wheelchairs or most of them using a joystick to control, to go forward, backward, and turn around. All that. Some others used also to tilt the chair or raise it. So all these abilities is just in this joystick. And originally we used joysticks to play games and video games and things like that in the old ages. So today I'm going to talk about how this can be and the danger of it, how this can be dangerous, and the danger of not paying attention to your joystick while you're sitting on your wheelchair. So I'm going to go over a few scenarios that could happen and review these. The first scenario that could happen if you are in a family gathering or you are in your church or a social gathering, and there is kids around, and those kids maybe 5, 6, 7 years old are very curious, and you're sitting on your wheelchair, the power is on, and you're not paying attention, you're speaking to one of your relative or friends, and then the kids come from the side and you think that the kid is listening, and then from curiosity they put their hand on the joystick and they move it to whatever direction that would be. So you'll find yourself suddenly, without noticing, moving either backward, forward, or turning. You could hit somebody and injure them, or if there is a curb or a step behind you or front you or next to you, the chair can go off, and then you end up in a very bad accident. So when you're not paying attention to your joystick, I always do this. I'm always sitting like that. When I am at church or with kids around me, because that happened to me, almost happened. It did not happen. That one of the kids came and was talking to me, but while I'm paying attention to his face, because I'm sitting in a wheelchair, he's almost the same height as me, and I'm, eye contact. He reached out with his hand and wanted to play with the joystick. I immediately caught him. I told him, don't do that, and I prevented. So from now on, from that point on, when I am aware that there is kids around me, I have my hands like that, or I just turn it off. And turn it off is just the most safe thing to do. That's one scenario. And the other scenario is you're carrying items on your lap, and those items are wider than your seat and extend to the side, or you're going downhill, you're going uphill, and the item moves, whatever situation, and the item touches the joystick and move it in a direction that you don't want to. So that is also another hazard. So when you have an item on your lap, make sure it's away from the joystick and your hand is in between, so you're always in control of where your direction is going. And that is I have an accident happened to me personally. I was unloading wood, and uh, the wood pushed the joystick and pushed me, and I slammed into a post, and I fractured my both feet. So I'm gonna post that video on that on the screen, and that is a potential hazard. But it so many times I'm carrying a feed bag on my lap or a box or something, and then I'm just trying to do other things, and I move, and I feel like the chair moved, not what I want, and I immediately pull that item away from the side of the joystick. I have my joystick always on the left hand, so I can have my right hand uh, always free to do things I want to do. It's better to have your right hand is the one that if you're doing a lot of work or whatever and carrying items, doing things, it's always better to have your right hand is the one, and the left hand controlling the wheelchair, because it doesn't need power, it doesn't need strength as much as it needs just sensitivity. So if you're using your right hand and try to switch it to the left hand, it's going to take a while to get used to it, but by the end of the day, you're going to end up better off in controlling other things. So that is another scenario that could end up causing you a great harm by item pushing, because when the item is pushing your wheelchair, it's going to continue pushing it until you remove it. And if you lost your balance, if you are not knowing what's happening, it's going to take more time to stop that action, and it's going to be more damage happen if if you slammed into something or fall off the curb or a stairway or whatever situation, or you're in a ramp and the chair moves one direction and the one wheel goes off the ramp or whatever. So that is a potential hazard. So you need to take to be watching for that. When you put something on your lap, make sure you control it so it does not get or if you're doing anything, you're unloading something from your grocery or whatever, and sometimes I do carry several bags of groceries on my lap, and while you're doing that, you pay attention or you turn it off, and then when you're ready to move and you have everything in a secure place and you're holding it with your right hand or your left hand, whatever, and you turn it back on and you start moving. So that is another scenario that could happen. And here is an example of carrying something on my lap. I have this tray, which is quite heavy. Not very heavy, but it is heavy. So I have this tray, which is kind of heavy because it's full of dirt and compost. As seedlings, I need to carry this into the house, so we start seedlings inside the house. And if I put this here, and it pushes my joystick and move me. So if I try to put it this way and let me back so you can see, if I'm trying to do this and this slides forward, it's gonna push me forward and it's gonna be more than what I need. I can slam on something, go off track where I want to go. So I need to make sure before I start moving, it's gonna come in a way that you can see it. This is away from my joystick. Yes, it's tilted. I can hold it this way and I can control my seat this way. And also I'm having my thumb between, I have my thumb between the tray and the controller. So if it slides this way while I'm moving, it's still away from the joystick and will not affect it. So this way I know I'll be okay. So that's an example of how you carry something on your lap and manage yourself depending on your ability, your controlling of things, that you make sure whatever you're carrying is not going to interfere with the joystick and makes you move in a way that you're not anticipated, you're not expected, and then you end up stuck in a situation or whatever. So that was the example for that. The third scenario is it's really easy to control that before you transfer yourself from the wheelchair to a different a second chair or a couch or the bed or whatever, before you lift your armrest, before you lift your armrest up, turn the chair off, because you don't see what's behind you. And when you lift the chair up, if there is something behind you, it's gonna push the joystick up, and you're gonna go forward, and you will not have no access to reach back and stop it, and you will slam into something. So every time before you lift that armrest up, if that's how your armrest operates, turn it off. And while you're sitting, not moving in any situation, just turn it off. It will save your battery, and it will save somebody else moving around, coming, doing something, and having something. A lady has the purse hanging on her shoulder, and she comes and turn around, and it moves it. All these scenarios could happen, and your wheelchair will move in a direction that you're not prepared for, and it could cause a damage. If there was a step or just a curb and the chair goes off, it's gonna tilt, it's gonna fall, and it could kill you. So be careful with that. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe, like, and share, and God bless you.